Hello, Daphne here with another video for you. This one titled, Never Be Afraid to Speak Up. Many years ago, a friend of mine and I were flying to Italy for a chance to enhance our creative side by taking painting lessons in Tuscany. We were headed for the very small town of Laura Cefena. And by the way, if you ever are in Italy, you should visit this town. It is charming. It's a medieval town. It's as old as it gets. It's just lovely. We loved it there, and it's right smack in the middle of Tuscany. On the day of departure, we boarded our flight at Kennedy Airport. We were headed to Leonardo da Vinci Airport in Rome, and then on to the little town of Laura Cefena. Once on board, we buckled ourselves into our seats halfway back in coach. Before long, the plane was taxiing away from the gate. Excitement filled us both as we looked forward to landing in Rome the next morning. Our new adventure was finally underway. As all planes do while taxiing to the takeoff point, they stop at different intersections. One of the first stops produced a large banging noise coming from the underbelly of our plane. I ignored this sound at first. Then it happened again. At that point, I decided to call a flight attendant. So I rang the button, and shortly there was a flight attendant standing before me asking what I wanted. I described the loud noise as I was hearing from the underbelly of the plane. She did not believe me. She looked at me like, oh no, God, good gracious, another crazy passenger on board. But I kept on, and I told her that in spite of the fact I am in lowly tourist class, I have flown over 3 million miles in my lifetime, and I should know what a normal sound is and what a normal sound is not on a plane. But she didn't believe me and spoke to me like I was an unruly, unreasonable passenger. She finally walked away exasperated. When the plane stopped again, the same noise was loud and clear. What is going on? I thought. The sound I was hearing is definitely not normal. It worried me greatly about the safety of this plane, because just a few weeks before, a value jet flight crashed in the Everglades, and the culprit was cargo that was not strapped down. Shifting cargo. So that was in the back of my mind, so I reached for the flight attendant call button once again. The same flight attendant returned, in a huff, threatening to report me to the captain and then throw me and my friend off the plane. She said I had to stop this nonsense. There was nothing wrong. I continued to explain that I thought there was something wrong, and she kept insisting there was nothing to worry about. Then she huffed off. To tell you the truth, I was completely astonished by her attitude, really and truly. But I guess flight attendants are always right, and passengers are not. Fortunately for me, on my third try, calling her back to my seat, luck was on my side. Because right then and there, as she was blasting me again for being unreasonable and not being, not being a compliant passenger, right then and there, another bang happened. The bang from the cargo hold was very loud and very clear. And so, in spite of her trying to finish her reprimand, without a word, she turned and made a beeline for the front of the plane. Almost immediately thereafter, the captain made an announcement stating we would be returning to the gate. Oh my goodness, that made me really happy. And after the announcement concluded, all the passengers in our section of the plane started cheering loudly. And that was interesting to me because I didn't know whether the people around me were siding with the flight attendant or me regarding the sounds that I was hearing. Finally, we were headed back to the gate. The problem was fixed. I could finally relax. After a short delay, we took off for Rome. When we arrived in Rome, we were waiting for our luggage, when my friend and I heard one of the passengers on our flight say to her friend, "That is the gal who made the captain turn our flight around." All I could do was smile. The moral to this story is a very simple one. Even if others try to discredit or do not believe you, have the courage of your convictions to speak up when you have the very strong feeling that something is terribly wrong.